everyone, and welcome. Today I am going to paint this small record that I got at Goodwill. You guys, I bought it for $2.99. It looks like a cute Christmas album until you open it up. And look, it's for Easter. So what better day to paint this small album than today? Happy Easter, everyone. Here lately, you guys have been feeling spring, and Kathleen and Fran L, you guys inspired me to do a white background. So I'm totally going to put the gesso on here and paint the background, the base coat, white. But before I do, I want to tape up the back and plug that hole. Now, for the first time in I don't know how long, I don't have to look for my painter's tape. I want to thank Diane so much for sending me this tape dispenser that was on my Amazon wish list. It is so helpful. I swear, I always know where my tape is now, and I'm so super excited to use it. I just want to say thank you. You'll be seeing it a lot. I'll link it in the description. If anyone else loses their painter's tape all the time, this might be the answer for you. Anyway, I'm taping over the hole, and then I'm going to spackle it. I'm absolutely determined to get rid of that center hole. All right, that looks really smooth, so I am going to let it dry completely, and then I will give it a coat of gesso to prime it for that white paint. Right now, I am priming and base painting a whole bunch of projects for upcoming videos, and you guys aren't going to believe what I did. Out of straight habit, I base painted this thing black, and to make matters worse, I videoed doing it. Y'all, I'm going to let it dry, and I'm telling you, I'm going to be so persistent. We are going to do that white background. I think even subconsciously, I don't want to do a white background. All right, y'all, through the magic of editing, I think we're ready to put some guidelines on this. You guys, I have a coat of black base paint on this thing, and then I have 2 coats of gesso, and then 2 coats of white. I think this thing is pretty primed, so let's get some guidelines on here. All right, after all of that work to make that center hole totally smooth with the spackle, I just totally ruined it with my compass, and I kind of giggled at myself, but that's okay. Let me show you one of the things that my sweet daughter bought me for my birthday. Check out this pink glitter. Does it not scream JaDeL? Does she not know her mom? I mean, glitter and pink, and it's just perfect. So that'll be our little secret weapon for later if that hole shows. Also, I want to apologize about the bruise and the burns and the black fingernails. You guys know I have had a time out there in my yard, and I mean, it's just working hands and I can't help it. They're still going to work for you though. So let's get going. I'm going to pull out all the pinks and do something super fun and super spring. Let's do it. I just wanted to pop in and let y'all know I am swirling these dots with a fine tip stylus only because I can kind of see my guidelines on the other side of them. So I'm going real gentle, and I'm kind of using the paint as the water and seeing if I just can't, you know, kind of knock those guidelines off of there under the paint so they don't show through when it's dry. It seems to be working, but it's totally optional. If you put it on there thick enough, you're not going to see those. So just do what you think is best, but that's the only reason why I'm doing this. All right, I'm scared to set this one down, so I'm gonna get out a little jar of paint and prop it up, and I'm gonna let it dry. All right, now that it's dry, I want to get out my pink glitter from my birthday, and I want to just go for it. All of these color shift dots have a purple look to me that I wasn't really pleased with. I really wanted this to just be pink and spring and whatever, so I'm going to cover up a little bit of it with this super gorgeous glitter that I got. Thank you so much, baby girl. I appreciate this gift more than you know. I love the way you know your mom, and I love how you spoil me. You're the best. We need to erase those guidelines first. I don't like erasing guidelines around glitter. It seems to pull on that cotton swab, or if you're using a towel, it'll kind of catch, and it's just so much easier to erase these things before you put that glitter on there. So let's erase the guidelines, and then let's get it all glitterful. Now, my good friend Kathleen B has inspired me, y'all. I will feature her canvas at the end under the Your Art section. She did this gorgeous canvas on white, and then she came back and did some top dots in this pearl paint. Y'all, I gotta go there. It was so pretty. So let's get to top dotting. Thank you so much for the inspiration, Kathleen. Oh, you guys, what do you think? I'm telling you, this is so pink and feminine, yet fun and playful and great for Easter, great for spring. I hope you guys give this a try. Check out Kathleen's painting here. It is so gorgeous, and it totally inspired me to go outside of my comfort zone and do this white background. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Everything you need to do this is down in the description. Go click those links, subscribe, hit the like button, do all the things that help me out. I hope you have a wonderful Easter, a super, super fun spring, and until next time, rock on.